This is a short tutorial on simulating random variables using Simetar. The contact information for Simetar is this website, and you can contact me personally at simetar.com. Now, what I've got here is a set of 6 random variables. They've got 16 observations, and I've already calculated the mean, standard deviation, and min and max. I want to show how to simulate these in a normal distribution, a uniform, and the empirical, and then I'm going to use some uniform random numbers to generate normal and empirical as well. So here we go, equal norm. That's our function for simulating a random number in Simetar. You indicate where the mean is, indicate where the standard deviation is, and if you have a uniform random number available, you can use that. Otherwise, Simetar generates its own. We can simply drag that formula across. If we were going to simulate these variables using the uniform distribution, we type equal uniform, left parenthesis, and again use fx editor. The low value is there, the high value is here, and press enter. And we can drag that formula across. Now every time we press F9 we get a random draw of these variables. To do an empirical simulation, empirical distribution, which is non-parametric, we type the EMP function, and we can go to fx, and all you really have to give it are the values. Okay? Simetar will generate everything else. And so we're just going to click OK after that, and then drag this cell to the right. And again, we're going to get random numbers every time we hit fx, or F9 rather. If I were to generate some random numbers just using my own uniform distribution, I would generate a vector of uniform standard deviates, and they would be equal uniform, minimum of 0, maximum of 1, so it's a uniform standard deviate, 0 to 1, and I'd use the normal function equal norm, left parenthesis, the mean, comma, the standard deviation, comma, and its own unique uniform standard deviate. Okay. And if I drag this across, I'm going to find out for sure that I did that. There's a feature in Simetar that allows us to document our spreadsheets. It's equal V formula. Left parenthesis, you click on the cell you want to investigate, and it gives you the formula for that cell. I'm going to drag this down because I'll use it in just a minute. I was simulating these random numbers with an empirical distribution. I would type EMP and highlight my values, my historical values, and I'm going to press F of X to show you where I'm going to put that random number. The random number is the uniform standard deviate right here, and remember it's unique to that random variable relative to the others. So if I press F2 on this, I can see that I'm using the historical values up here and this deviate down here, and notice that the function already updated for me. Now I'm going to simulate these random variables 500 iterations, and the way I'm going to do that is to use the Simetar ribbon, the simulation engine, and I'm going to tell it that the labels are left and above. Okay, and then I'm going to add those. Then I'm going to highlight this group of uniform random numbers, and then I'm going to highlight this group of empirical. I'm going to click add. I'm going to highlight all of this matrix and add, and for the fun of it, I'm just going to highlight this one and add it, and then say simulate. The results could be put any place, into any worksheet you would like. Simetar defaults to sim data. I'm just going to sim data all, just to show that I can change this and hit simulate, and about 1 second later we generated all of these random numbers here. I must have picked up one there that it didn't like. Oh, I picked up the variable name for the first one. Okay, so if I want to do any statistical analysis of these data or do any graphing, I have my random variables. Okay, and I have all 500 observations, so I could do any testing I want, draw any graphics I want, or any other validation procedures. Now, I'll provide another tutorial later that shows you how you can validate your random numbers to make sure that I reproduced statistically the mean and the standard deviation that I had in my historical data. If you just eyeball this, yes, those two are about the same. That's what I got right here. Okay, there. And you'd find they were statistically equal to each other. That concludes this tutorial, and please watch the other ones we provide. Thank you.